Alright, so good day everyone. So for today's video, ang gagawin ko naman or ang ituturo ko naman sa inyo ay parametric test for known samples or the z-test. Okay, so z-test for known sample. Ano po ba ang z-test for known sample? So it is used to determine the amount of effect of an independent variable to the dependent variable. So para malaman daw natin kung gaano naapektuhan ng independent variable si dependent variable, usually it is also used to determine the significant differences between the variables that we have, then we utilizes or we use z-test for that. So this is one of the most fundamental statistical treatments in quantitative research, specifically in descriptive research. So a hypothesis is an assumption of a proposed statement regarding a possible answer to a research problem or question. To test the hypothesis, the research must be converted into statistical parameters or statistical hypotheses. Statistical hypotheses. So yan po yung gamit ni z-test natin. Ginagamit natin siya again to determine the amount of effect of the independent variable to the dependent variable. So yan po yan. Okay, so next is, nakalimutan ko tong sabihin noong sa video ko ng weighted mean, pero kailangan ninyong tandaan na 'di ba, yung pinakita kong sample ng research statements kanina, isa lang. Kasi isa lang naman yung i-compute natin. Pero in reality, kapag gumawa ka ng survey questionnaire, maraming tanong yan. May, halimbawa, category number 1, may 10 tanong. Category number 2, may 10 tanong. So a total of 20 questions. Ibig sabihin po, kung may 10 ka sa category 1, 10 sa category 2 na research statements, ibig sabihin, 20 ulit kang magsosolve ng weighted mean. So, halimbawa, statement number 1, weighted mean. May kasama din po yung z-test. Pareha sila. So, kada research statement, may weighted mean, may z-test. Again, an example, research statement number 1, may weighted mean, may z-test. Research statement number 2, may weighted mean, may z-test. Research statement number 3, may weighted mean, may z-test. So, one research statement corresponds one weighted mean and one z-test. Okay, so yun yung kailangan ninyong tandaan. Alright, so meron po tayong steps in hypothesis testing for z-test. 6 po yung step natin na kailangang magawa para ma-solve natin si z-test. Pero madali lang naman siya. So step 1, state the null and alternative hypothesis. Itong mga nababasa nyo dyan, huwag nyo masyadong intindihin because that's just basically for the analysis of the results. Like ano ba yung indication niya kapag yan yung nakuha natin kapag HO at saka H1, which you will further understand later on as we proceed on the formula or on the steps. All right. So, but again, the step number 1 is state the null and alternative hypothesis. So, paano nyo yun gagawin? Ganito. Ano ba ang null and alternative hypothesis ninyo? So, kagaya ng lagi kong binibigay na example, ito yung variable. Study habits has no significant impacts to the academic performance. That's null. Alternative, study habits has significant impacts to the academic performance. That's alternative. So, ganyan lang kasimple. Hindi nyo kailangan mag-compute. Kailangan lang magawa nyo ng null at saka alternative hypothesis yung given title or yung study na ginagawa. Okay, so that is it. Step number 2 is we have to, sabi dito, we have to set a level of significance. For your information, this is constant. Lagi pong 0.05 yung gagamitin natin because it indicates 95% success of research and 5% margin of error. Meaning, nasa gitna lang siya. Hindi masyadong mataas, hindi masyadong mababa. Instead of 100% and a 90%. Diba? Doon tayo sa 95 para nasa middle siya, sakto lang. Okay, so that's why for step number 2, set a level of significance, lagay nyo lang 0.05. Ang hirap ba? Napakadali lang. So step number 3 is we have to, sabi dyan, compute for the z value. Compute daw natin si z value. So lagay ko lang dito kasi kapag nagsasolve kayo, ganito dapat yung magiging itsura ng answer sheet ninyo. Talagang ilalagay nyo yung mga steps. So sabi dyan, compute for the z value. Ang formula po ng computation ng z-value is z is equals to the sample mean minus the population mean over variance or the standard deviation divided by the square root of n. Alright, so now let's identify. Meron na ba tayong sample mean? Wala pa. Okay. So kaya nakikita nyo, blanco pa dito si sample mean. So huwag kayong malito, si value of test statistics, yan yung kinocompute natin. Yan yung hanapin natin at the end of the formula. Or pagkatapos natin ma-solve, yan yung mahahanap natin. Si value of test statistics or the Z value. Okay, so ang nawawala natin ay si sample mean. Wala pa tayong sample mean. Next, population mean. So for our population mean, so lagay lang natin. Okay, let me just use my annotations. Ayan. So ito, nawawala pa si sample mean. Wala pa tayong sample mean. Ayan. Ayan. Si population mean naman natin, just a reminder, this is constant. Ibig sabihin, lagi po siyang 3.00. So, lagay lang natin yung decimal places na niya. So, constant, hindi nababago. Lagi siyang nakaset to 3.00. And then, for the standard deviation, meron na ba tayo niyan? Wala. Nawawala pa din siya. So, X pa din yan. And then, the number of frequencies. So, number of frequencies, again, kagaya ng sinasabi ko kanina sa weighted mean, number of frequencies correspond to the total number of respondents. So, gagamitin pa rin natin yung sample natin kung ilan yung total of respondents kanina, 15. Pero, mamaya, may sasabihin din ako. Okay, so 15 yung total number of frequencies because total number of respondents natin ay 15 din. So, ang nawawala pa natin, again, ay sample mean at saka standard deviation. Yan pa yung kailangan nating hanapin. Okay? So, dahil nawawala pa siya, para mahanap natin siya, kailangan nating i-complete itong table. Ayan. So, ito yung table natin. So, kailangan natin siyang magawa para ma-complete natin or mahanap natin yung mga value na kailangan natin for us to be able to compute the Z value or the value of test statistics. Okay? So, now, so sir, saan po makukuha? Sa class interval, that's automatic. Lagi siyang 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? For frequency, sir, saan po namin yan ibabase? Kagaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, sa rating scale natin, meron tayong tinatawag na F, which is the frequency for each given scale. Meaning, ilan yung sumagot kada rating scale natin. So, ilan yung nagsabi ng 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, sir, ang dami nga po nating research statement. Saan po natin ibabase yan? So, kung ano yung research statement na kinocompute nyo, doon yung ibabase yung frequency. Halimbawa, research statement number 1 yung kinocompute nyo, yun yung pagbabasihan nyo ng frequency. So, sa sample natin, ang pagbabasihan ko ay merong binigay na sample sa module, yun yung kukuhanin natin na frequency for each given scale. But again, in reality, babase nyo siya sa research statement na kinocompute nyo ang Z value. Okay, so in our example, the value is 8 daw yung nagsabi ng 5, 5 yung nagsabi ng 4, merong isa sa 3, merong isa sa 2, at wala namang nagsabi ng 1. Okay, hold on. Next is the class mark. So, ano kaya yung class mark? So, sa class mark, napakadali lang din. Lagi din siyang 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kagaya lang ni class interval. Okay? Walang pag-iisipan, napakadali. Pero, balikan natin to. So, sabi dito, si frequency, kailangan i-total natin. Hindi naman siya ganun kailangan, pero para lang alam natin kung ilan yung total number of respondents, add lang natin siya. So, pag sinabing summation symbol, again, the operations to use is to add. So, ang total niyan ay 15. Kaya, kung makikita nyo dito, ang number of frequency natin ay 15. Kasi nga, ang respondents natin ay 15. Alright. So, next step is to get the FM. Paano naman daw kuhanin si FM? Ano ba yung may symbol na F? Frequency. Ano yung may symbol na M? Class mark. So, we just have to multiply. So the operations to use is to multiply. So F times M. So 8 times 5, 40. 5 times 4, 20. 1 times 3, 3. 1 times 2, 2. 0 times 1, 0. All right, so that's the results. Now, sabi dyan, we have to get the summation of FM. Kuhanin daw natin si summation of FM. So again, pag summation, the result is, or the operation is add. So ang sagot dyan ay 65. All right, so next step is to compute for the x minus x. So, paano naman natin siya kukuhanin? So, para ma-solve natin yan, kailangan mahanap muna natin si sample mean na kailangan natin dito. Okay, so para ma-compute natin siya, kailangan natin sundin ang formula na ito. Summation of Fm divided by N, or the total number of respondents. Ayan. So, ano ba yung value ng summation of FM natin? That is 65. Ilan yung respondents natin? That is 15. So, divide lang natin siya. So, 65 divided by 15 is equals to 4. No. 65 divided by 15. Ayan, tama. So, the answer is 4.33. Okay. So, 4.33. So that will be our sample mean as well. So pwede na nating ilagay dito para hindi nyo makakalimutan. 4.33 ang ating sample mean. So next, pwede na ba tayo mag-proceed sa formula natin dito? Hindi pa kasi nawawala pa si standard deviation. So 4.33 ang ating sample mean. So now, para makuha natin si x minus x bar, we just have to subtract it from, saan natin isusubtract? From our class mark. Okay. Give me a moment. Okay, so going back. So, kailangan daw natin isubtract si sample mean to our class mark. So, 5 minus 4.33, the answer is 0.67. Next, 4 minus 4.33, the answer is negative 0.33. Tas, yan. Negative 0.33. Ayan. Next is 3 minus 4.33, negative 1.33. 2 minus 4.33, negative 2.33. Ayan. And then, 1 minus 4.33 is equals to negative 3.33. Ayan. So that is the result of x minus x bar. Okay? So next is, kailangan daw natin si x minus x squared value. So meaning, we just have to multiply by itself. That's the operation itself. Ayan. So para ma-compute natin to, we just have to multiply it by itself. So x minus x bar. So 0.67 times 0.67, the answer is 0.4489. 0.4489. Ayan. And then, 0.33 times 0.33, so mawawala na yung negative value niya kasi nag-multiply tayo. 0.1087. Next. Okay. Sorry, I had to answer the call of my mom. Alright, so pinuno ko na lang to kasi ang naging operations lang naman natin is we just have to multiply by itself yung nasa value natin ng x minus x kasi sabi dyan, squared lang daw natin yung value doon. So, eto, minultiply lang natin by itself, then the result is this one. Alright, so next is, we just have to multiply. Sorry, hindi ko nalagay ito sa parentheses. Yeah, dapat naka-parentheses yan. Ayan. So we just have to multiply x minus x bar or sorry, squared kay frequency or kay f. So 8 times 0.4489. So anong sagot? Yan. Anong sagot natin? So the answer is 3.5912. 3.5912. Next. 5 times 0.1087. The answer is 0.5445. 0.5445. Next. 1 times 1.7869. The answer is 1.7869. Next is 1 times 5.4289. The answer is 5.4289. And then 0 times 11.0889. The answer is 0. Kasi 0 naman talaga. Okay. So next is, kuhanin natin yung summation. Nahuli na kasi nakalimutan ko, but basically, wala naman siyang naging epekto kasi hindi naman siya kailangan really doon sa sunod na formula. Actually, I don't know why do we have to compute the summation of x minus x squared kasi wala naman siyang gamit. Ito meron, pero ito wala. But since this is the formula, we just have to follow. So x minus x squared, kapag inad natin everything. So the answer would be 18.84452. 18.84455. Yeah. So that's our summation of x minus x squared. And then pag ito naman yung inad natin, the answer would be 11.33. So lagay lang natin to para hindi natin makalimutan na yan yung tawag sa kanya. So the answer is 11.3335. 3335. Ayan. Okay, so that's the answer. So next step, kompleto na yung table natin, pero wala pa rin tayong standard deviation. So hindi pa doon natatapos, kahit kompleto na yung table, meron pa tayong susunod na step. So we just have to compute for the standard deviation para makuha natin yung variance natin. So sa standard deviation natin, the formula is yun, standard deviation S squared, yung formula niya is equals to summation of fx minus x squared. So, alin yon? Ito, yung result natin dito. So, 11.3335 divided by n minus 1. Ilan yung total number of respondents natin? 15 minus 1. So, yan na yung magiging value natin. So, the answer is, center lang natin para maganda tingnan. The answer is 11.3335 divided by 14 kasi minus 1. So, anong sagot? Anong sagot dito? Ang sagot ay 11.3335 divided by 14. The answer is 0.8096. 0.8096. Ayan. So, nakuha na natin ang ating standard deviation. So, dahil nakuha na natin ang standard deviation, ang hinahanap natin yung parang pinaka-variance pa niya. So, kailangan pa natin i-compute yung square root. So, ano yung formula natin? Square root of n. So, ito lang. So, yung sa variance natin, kailangan lang natin to is-square root. Ano yung square root ng 0.8096? The square root is 0.8998. So, you can just use your calculator. So, yan na yung ating variance. Napakadali lang. So, dahil nakuha na natin yung standard deviation, yan na yung gagamitin natin para sa ating formula. So, kompleto na yung ating kailangan para ma-compute natin si ating Z or si value of test statistics or ang ating Z value. Okay, so now let's proceed with the computation. Okay, so again, ang gagawin lang natin is to just follow the formula. Again, this is the formula. Tinransfer ko lang sa bandang baba. So, Z is equals to sample mean minus the population mean over variance divided by the square root of N. Alright, so anong mangyayari dyan? So, convert lang natin siya into its value. What's our sample mean? 4.33. 4.33 minus what's our population mean? 3.00, which is constant. What's our variance or the standard deviation? So divided by 0.8998. Ayan. Center ko lang to para naman maayos tingnan. And then divided by the square root of n. So what is the square root of n? Ilan nga ulit yung total number of frequency natin? 15. So ganyan. So, syempre, lagyan nyo na lang ng square root symbol. Teka, di ko kasi, ayan, sige, kopyahin ko na lang to. Hindi ako marunong maglagay ng symbol. Ayan. So, that will be the value na kailangan natin para makompute yung ating z value. Okay. So, let's proceed. Okay. So, next step is z is equals to 4.33 minus 3. The answer is 1.33. Divided by, copy lang natin, 0.8998. Tapos, square root na natin yung next value natin. Yung square root of 15, the answer is 3.8730. The square root of 15 is 3.8730. Ayan. So, ayan na yung mga value natin. Okay. So, next step is to just um, divide yung 0.8998 at saka 1.33. So the answer is Z is equals to, copy lang natin, si 1.33 divided by, ano yung result nito? Pag dinivide, 0.8998 divided by 3.873, the answer is 0.232. 0.232. Ayan. So, ayan na. And then, after that, we just have to divide again. 1.33 divided by 0.232, the answer is 5.73. So this is our test statistics na kinukuha or makukuha or nakuha. So yun na yung value natin. So pwede nating ilagay dito yung final answer. 5 point, ano nga, 73. Ayan. So complete din natin yung answer sheet natin. Compute for the z value. So lagay lang natin to lahat. Yung mga nakuha natin sa answer sheet natin. Ayan. So, ganyan yung magiging itsura dapat ng answer sheet ninyo. So, next, proceed na tayo sa step 4. Compare the z-test statistic value to the table of values to get the z value. Afterwards, subtract it from the critical value to get the p value. Okay. So, step 4. Yan, lagay lang natin yung step 4. Tapos, perform natin siya. Compare the z-test statistic value to the table of values. Ano ba yung table of values? So, may ipapaste ako dito. Hold on. Ayan. So, ito po yung tinatawag na test statistics value of the table of values. So, table of values po to ng z-test. So, i-compare lang natin dyan yung nakuha natin na test statistics, which is 5.73. So, tingnan natin. May 5.7 ba dito? Wala. Hanggang 3.4 lang siya. So, dahil hanggang 3.4 lang siya, may rule po, if the computed value is more than 3.40, the z-value will be 0.9999. Automatic po yun kapag ka lampas ng 3.4. Eh sir, paano po kapag ka hindi naman lampas ng 3.4? Halimbawa, ang nakuha nyo lang ay 1.7. So, 1.7 yung nakuha ko. Saan ako titingin? Sa 0 point or 0.05. Okay? So, 1.7, ano yung nasa 0.05? 0.9599. So, yun yung magiging value niya. Again, kapag kalampas lang ng 3.4, tsaka lang kayo hindi titingin dito. Pero kapag ka hindi naman lampas ng 3.4, titingin kayo sa line ng 0.05 para makuha nyo yung ah, value niya, yung magiging corresponding value niya. Okay, so, ang nakuha nating result ay 0.9999. So, lagay lang natin dito. 0.9999. Okay? So, dahil yun yung nakuha nating resulta, ang gagawin daw natin, sabi dito sa ruling, we just have to subtract 0.9999 from the critical value. So, lagay natin yung formula para hindi ninyo makalimutan. Okay. So, sige, burahin muna natin to. So the formula is this. P-value is equals to critical value minus Z-value. Kasi ang hinahanap natin is si P-value na. So ang gagawin daw natin, si critical value, ano yung critical value natin? 0.5. Okay, magkaiba po si level of significance at saka si critical value. Si critical value po, 0.5 lang. Okay? And then, subtract lang natin siya kay 0 point minus 0, ay sorry, minus 0.9999. Okay, nagfo-formula siya. Hindi ko rin alam kung bakit. So, dito na lang natin lagay. Minus 0.9999. Ayan na. So, ito si critical value, 0.5. Z-value natin, 0.999. Saan galing? Dun sa table. Kasi lagpas siya ng 3.40. So, next is, the result is 0.5 minus 0.9999. The answer is 0 point or negative 0.4999. Our p-value is negative 0.4999. Okay. So yun, pwede na natin tong ilagay sa ating, ayan, ito na yung answer sheet natin. So next step is, okay, ang next step is compare p-value with level of significance. So dito pa lang natin magagamit si level of significance. Step 5. Yan. So step 5 is compare p-value with level of significance. Ano nga ulit yung p-value natin? Negative 0.4999. Tapos ang level of significance natin 0.05. Okay. Alin ang mas mataas? Negative 0.4999 or 0.05? Siyempre, mas mataas si 0.5. So, ang magiging symbol natin ay ganyan. Greater than. Kasi kung nakanino yung bibig, siya yung mas mataas. Kung nakanino yung buntot, siya yung mas mababa. Tama? Okay. So, dahil ganon yung resulta, balikan natin yung ating ruling. If the p-value is greater than the level of significance, then reject HO. If the p-value is less than the level of significance, then we fail to reject HO. Ano nga ulit yung resulta natin? Mas mataas si level of significance kay p-value. So, ang resulta natin ay, lalagay natin dito sa step number 6, make a decision. So, lalagay natin, reject HO, meaning the hypothesis that you will take is the alternative. Study habits has a significant impacts to the academic performance. There we go. Simple as that. So, ganyan lang po yung paggawa ng z-tests. So, na-observe natin yung process dito. Kailangan magawa natin lahat ng yan. Ayan. Tapos, dapat may kopya tayo nito para magawa natin yung step number 4. And then, proceed sa step 5 and number 6. So, ito yung magiging itsura ng inyong answer sheet. Mahirap ba? Madali lang. So, if you have questions, just ask it during the live discussion. So, that's it.